Hello and welcome back to the N-Squared World Domination Society, the definitive Starship review series without access to a proper table, and we didn't even budge the logo this time. Right, today I'm gonna be mostly looking at the XL original Discovery, but a little bit about the normal one as well and comparing them. And I'm going to do something that I have not actually seen before, and give the XL Discovery a positive review. But before we get into that, I of course have to mention that I'm part of the Eaglemoss affiliate program, meaning in the description below you'll see a link for both of these starships. If you choose to buy either of these starships because of this video, if you click that link below, then I will get a 7% commission on, I think it's whatever you buy. It might just be these ships. I don't know. I haven't actually made the commission yet. But anyway, it would be much appreciated if you found this review helpful. It would let Eaglemoss know that this is a great channel to support. They might be able to send me new ships so I can review. I win, you win, everyone wins. But yes, the Discovery. A design that has definitely grown on me since the series was announced and we saw the, prototype of the ship way back 5 years ago in 2016. And I actually quite like the Crossfield class design. It took a bit of warming up to, but Discovery as a whole, the ship design took a bit of warming up to. But I am coming from a position of someone who quite likes this design, and most of the Federation designs in general from that show. But yes, as I mentioned, a positive review for this ship is something I had not seen before. Granted, I don't watch a lot of video reviews, but I remember when this ship was announced, it basically caused a storm of hate, is what I remember. Officially, on paper, the normal Discovery, the normal size, is, I forgot to write it down, but basically on paper, there's a 20 millimeter difference in the length between this ship and the XL, which is 2 centimeters, or about 0.7 inches if you use sensible units. And if we just, this might be hard because they're, long ships. If we just line up the nacelles right here, you'll notice that is not a 2 centimeter difference. That's actually about an 1.5 inch difference, or a 3.8 centimeter difference, nearly twice what is reported. So that was something a lot of people were mad about. I was surprised when I got the ship just how much bigger it was, because all I remember was just 2 centimeters. I put off buying the ship for a long time. I actually bought it with my XL La Serena, and I think the Nebula, because there's a discount code that works on XLs, which is so rare. And I was like, alright, I can stomach it now. The other problem a lot of people had is it is never going to come up with this lighting kit, but the registry you see here, and same with the registry on the back, is basically invisible in all but the perfect angle and the right light, contrary to the regular edition, which does have... no, actually, it stands out quite a lot, the different colors. Unless you shine a light directly on it, it's maybe a bit hard to read, but it's still very clear what it says. So a lot of people were upset that they thought the registry worse. And yeah, it is a bit of a problem. I don't know if it's more screen accurate, having the basically invisible registry, but that was a common complaint a lot of people had. And the last complaint people had was some people felt that the original Discovery model wasn't the most accurate. They cut it a little bit of slack because, this would have been designed before the ship was actually finalized. Before there was a show, definitely. And I never really saw it. I look at it and I'm like, yeah, that's the Crossfield class. That's the Discovery. It's kind of the same people who complain that the XL Enterprise A is, horrible and has so many glaring flaws. And I've honestly tried to find a difference between my model and the screen for so long. I can't do it. And they felt that this model didn't fix any of those. But again, I look at it, yes, this is a Discovery. This is the Crossfield class. Maybe the bottom, looking at it, might not have all the stripes that are supposed to be there. It might be a bit bland. I actually don't know off the top of my head. I'm gonna check. I'm probably gonna try and put an image on screen right now as much as I hate giving editing me work. And I've just seen a new registry there with this film light. I'm jumping around a bit, but with this film lighting, yeah, I'm noticing all sorts of new registry just because it's so invisible without it. But yeah, anyway, the main thing I'm noticing is this hole, though, actually does have a lot of the weathered Aztecing, I guess you'd call it, that Discovery does, whereas this hole, it's there, but it's actually pretty invisible. I honestly didn't know it was there until I picked this model up right now. The body on the XL doesn't seem to have it like the standard model does, if you can see there. And again, the weathering on the underside of the XL for the body isn't as visible, but for the saucer, it's more visible on the XL. So yeah, as far as detailing goes, it's one of those models where I think both do different things better. The registry and the body are better on the normal ship, but the general weathering, the saucer section, is a lot better on the big ship. And of course, as a big ship, you get a lot more detailing, like in the windows. The gaps in the Crossfield class, the saucer section, are much more pronounced. As of course, I've said plenty of times before, you know, the bigger the scale, the closer to 1-to-1 you get, the more the nooks and crannies you can get in there. There's a little blue light under the nacelles is more prominent, just right there. Is more prominent on the XL than the small one. You get slightly more detailing back here, I think, on these impulse engines, I guess. It's a solid red on the normal one, but they've got little gray markings on the XL. You can't see that. There we go. Of course, the blue on the nacelle, both the inside and out, is a little bit more pronounced on the XL, again, just thanks to scale. The windowing on both of them actually looks just like exactly the same amount of offset from the indents from the XL and the small. Actually, it looks a lot better for that section on the XL, and maybe a little bit better for the front section on the small one. So yeah, all in all, detailing, it probably is a mix of which part you think is more important, detailing-wise, what you'd like to get. You can tell if you light it properly. I think this registry definitely is a lot better than this one. If I turn it off, they're about the same, but I could probably find an angle. Oh, the camera's a lot better than the human eyes. Dang it, frustratingly, yeah, the camera is always going to pick it up. The registry under the proper lighting is a lot better for the XL, but you do have to get that proper lighting, otherwise it's invisible to most angles. Then I'm going to talk about the metal before I forget. The body section for the XL feels metal to me. The nacelles, the front bit actually does surprisingly feel metal. I think you can actually see right here the crack where this is plastic, this is metal. This top neck section, I believe is plastic. It's actually really hard to tell. I think the saucer is plastic, because it definitely feels different to the body, the metal body. But I can't actually tell where the plastic-metal divide is. I think I'm going to say that's plastic, though. And over here, we have a very similar setup. Body and nacelles are metal. In fact, I'm pretty sure, just feeling it, it's exactly the same setup as the XL. So, proportionally, the same bits are plastic and metal on both models. But I think the real selling part here is the size of the models. Which, yeah, as I showed off a bit before, the XL is definitely a lot bigger than the standard Discovery. These are big ships, so it might be a bit hard, but the XL is basically the same size as the Ship of the Dead. The Ship of the Dead is a little bit bigger, as you can see, but they're approximately the same size, so it's quite a big ship. It's also comparable in size to the ISS Chiron. Not as big, but comparable, which is an accomplishment. I'm not going to attempt to frame this next bit because it's so big, but it's also about the same size as the Section 31 and Starbase 1 stations, which Editing Me has had to get out of their chair and take a picture of because they forgot about it. Hopping over to the original collection, I don't believe I actually own anything as long as the Discovery, but the Enterprise B, and consequently the Excelsior, is about the closest that I could get. And, you know, it's noticeably bigger, the XL Discovery, than the Excelsior classes. But it's comparable. And of course the Enterprise E, roughly the same size as the Enterprise B in models, is also about the same size. And, if I remember correctly, I think these ships are actually about the same size in canon, but that is why we don't discuss Discovery ship sizes, just, the scale. Earlier, when I said I liked the Discovery ships, of course, that is with the stipulation that you have to take everything relative to the Discovery Enterprise, scale it down to the size of the Enterprise. I can't believe I have to say those words. And then it all works, but you gotta scale them down. The Universe Collection is still too young to really have a good comparison, but this is the Discovery compared to the XL Loss Arena. The XL is the key word there. And here's the Discovery compared to the largest Universe ship, the Zheng-He, which is about the length, is the Discovery minus the saucer section. The XL Discovery, of course. And I'm not going to compare the small Discovery to all those models again, because I think those comparison sections are too long anyways. But you can just compare the normal Discovery and the XL Discovery and get a pretty good idea, With the exception, I want to point out that the normal Discovery is actually longer than the Zheng-He is. So yeah, it is. Even the normal Discovery is quite a big model, because Discovery is, of course, a very long ship. And yeah, in the end of the day, I think that's the real selling point here, is just the scale of the XL version. It replaced my normal version, along with the XL Shinzo, where I display all my Discovery ships, just because of space. Basically as soon as I got it, because I just think it's better. Sure, if it was just a matter of which model is the most screen accurate, the most detailed, the prettiest, it would really be a toss-up to opinion, I believe. But when you come to the extra length of the Discovery, just those little bit of extra details, like the coloring in the coloring in the inner saucer section, making the windows more pronounced, and of course the size making them more pronounced. The little ball section having more detail because of the scale. Just everything the extra scale gives you, I think really pushes the XL Discovery up over that about $20 margin, I think it is, over the standard one. Is it worth buying the XL Discovery if you already have the normal one? That's up to you. I think, I'm more of a completionist. I'm kind of buy all the models, but I think it's worth an upgrade. Maybe if you can find it on a sale with one of the codes that works on XL models, if you already have the small one. If you don't, then you might as well just go for the bigger one. I don't usually bring up the price of models in these videos, because it's so dependent on, how much money you actually have as a person. If you're Jeff Bezos, the price literally doesn't matter at all. If you're most people, maybe the price is going to matter a little bit. It really depends on your economic status, the price, which is why I don't bring it up too much. So yeah, is both of them worth the price for you? That's a decision that really only you could make. If you're willing to spend the extra money on the XL, and you're wondering if it's worth it, then I'd say that answer is definitely yes. If you already have the small one, and you're wondering if the XL is worth the upgrade, quality-wise, yeah, I'd say so. It's just if you have the money you want to spend on it. Is the normal version good enough if you really just kind of want a good model of the Discovery, and maybe aren't concerned about the best or wanting to save a bit of money? Yeah, it was a good model that served its purpose for ages. I'll redisplay it once I have the space to do so. But I've just always loved the scale that the XL treatment gives you. When we're coming up on the Universe Collection, we're going to be getting both a normal size and an XL size refit of Discovery refit models soon. And so you really have options to go either way, if you want to have a model of each. Which is another point, without actually seeing that model, because of course it hasn't been made yet, dang you. Yeah, I thought these models definitely aren't horrible enough to just not buy and wait till you get the refit models, because yeah, they're both good models. And I think I've just said enough for you to then have enough information to make the decision you wanted to make. I'm happy with the XL Discovery, a lot happier than I thought I'd be after all the negative comments. I think the vast majority of the negative comments aren't really justified, having seen the model, and I do really like it on the shelf. My only complaint is just that it's hard to read the registries in most angles. But if you get a proper display case, light it up with LEDs, I doubt that'd be an issue, just judging by what my film setup does. So yeah, that's everything. I'd like to make one note, though, that we are going to be covering Lower Decks as it comes out as soon as I can after the new videos, which should be Wednesday between like 10 and midnight in PST, my time zone. Which for the first two episodes means, because of work, I'm probably going to have some trouble getting those out by like a Friday or a Saturday, more likely. But rest assured, I will be doing them, and then after the first two, I'm going to have the time to do like a big span for the next month as soon as possible. So if you want to see me review and react to Lower Decks episodes, definitely consider subscribing. Same if you want more Eaglemoss reviews. I hope you enjoyed that video. If you have any questions about these models, just ask me in the comments, I'll reply. If you have a model that you want me to review, just ask me. I have over half of the collection now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.